Right, guys, I'm going to show you how to draw a proportional human figure. We won't go into terrible much detail, kind of like these mannequins here. As I've mentioned before, the human body is approximately 8 heads tall. That's proportionate, and so we're going to be using this map here. On Schoology, I've included several examples of how to divide the human body, but as always, feel free to ask me questions via email, in person, Zoom, whichever you like. So what we're going to do is start with the front view of the person. Between 1 and the top here, we're just going to go ahead and draw an egg shape for the head. I generally just sketch this out. Sketching allows me to draw lightly and kind of just round out the shapes that I want. Next, I'm going to go ahead and draw the neck. The neck kind of comes down just under the jawline. Usually people starting out tend to draw lollipop heads where the neck is super skinny. Remember, your neck needs to be strong enough to support your head. Next, we're going to go ahead and between 1 and 2, add a line for the shoulders. They hit about between 1 and 2 here on the map. Next, to figure out how wide to make the shoulders, and again, people typically starting out make them a little too skinny. I like to measure my head with my pencil. I kind of like block off there with my fingers where I want it to be. I'm going to scooch it so where my fingers are in the middle of the neck, and the edge here is over. So one of your heads is about from the middle of your neck over. And then I'm going to take this head, again, start from the center, move over, kind of mark where I want it. And that's how you can figure out how wide to make your shoulders. I'm going to go ahead and connect the neck to the shoulders. It's usually not a hard angle on the front view. Kind of bow up. Okay, so far so good. We've got a bust. Next, we're gonna create the rest of the length of the torso, and I like to go from the shoulders all the way down to number 4. That's where the torso ends. Go ahead and just draw a triangle. This is obviously a male body. The shoulders are going to be wide. Males tend to have that wedge shape. If you were going for a female, you would typically kind of draw a round shape here. And just like the male, we're just under where the shoulders start. For females, it's going to be a little bit wider, but for males, we're going to draw this little box here for the pelvis. Okay, so we've drawn our triangle, we've drawn our pelvis. I'm going to connect the pelvis to the chest by going in and then down. If you want to include some muscles here, you totally can. You can see where I ended my chest between 2 and 3. That's where the rib cage would kind of, the bottom of your rib cage would kind of end up. Next, I'm going to add some arms. The arms, I start with a rounded upper shape. Kind of draw a upside down triangle for each arm. The elbows hit at around number 3 here on our map, so I like to draw the end of that wedge shape just past that 3. Next, I'm going to draw the same shape, but a little bit skinnier, down to number 4. That creates the elbow to wrist section of your body. Okay. After that, what I'm going to do is kind of imagine this area is divided in half here at 4. Okay. We've got kind of that crotch. Next, between this line and the outer line, you're going to draw that wedge shape like the arm. Going down to number 6. Number 6 is where the knees hit. Again, it ends just below here. Do both sides. Okay. And at any point, I mean, this is a video, so if you need to pause to catch up, and then you can continue the video. One thing that I didn't do, but I want to pause here and add these little helpful labels to my map. I'm going to write chin, shoulder, between 1 and 2. Number 3 is elbow. slash waist. Number 4 is wrists and crotch. Okay. Your hands are going to end between 4 and 5, so hands. Number 6 is knees. Okay, about 3/4 of the way down in this section here is where your ankles are going to hit. And bottom of feet at 8. Okay, go ahead and add those labels too. This will be a good reference sheet for you for when we do other projects. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add the calf and shin area. Like your arms, we're going to overlap. This is going to be kind of like the leg shape, but skinnier, very similar to these arm shapes. Do both sides. Okay. To add the heels, remember your ankles are gonna hit around here. Draw a triangle from that line down to create the heel. And then next, for front-facing feet, you're just gonna come in and down a little bit. You're gonna swoop out here, and we won't worry about toes for now. We're just gonna kind of round that out. Just because they're coming forward into space, it's okay if they cross this 8 line right here. We're gonna add those hands right about here, some kind of rounded top square shapes. All right, and essentially you have the human body. If you want to take a moment to kind of refine those shapes and make it look more human-like, you totally can. A little shade for the knee. And there you have it. We have a proportional human figure. In our next video, we'll go ahead and cover how to do a side view of this.